Hi, hello, it is me again. I know you all love seeing me. If you're new here, how did you get here? So today, in case you didn't read the title, we're going to be talking about everyone's favorite thing. Everyone's most favorite, most interesting thing, science. And when I say science, I mean mostly numbers. I'm going to be saying a lot of numbers. So yeah, I hope you like numbers. So without further ado, let's talk about some stars. According to the International Astronomical Union, there are 88 constellations. So obviously, me being the main character, I had to pick the most interesting, the most fierce, the most bold one. Some fish. Pisces was discovered between 120 and 150 AD, which is roughly 1900 years ago, by Greco-Roman astronomer Ptolemy. Ptolemy. Now, of course, since this guy was Greek, he had an insane amount of lead in his system. So he obviously had a pretty wild creation story for the constellation Pisces. It all starts with an evil Greek god, because we don't have enough of those apparently. His name is Typhon. He was a tall, winged man with screaming, fiery snakes for legs. So you can picture that. He was not very well liked by the other Olympic gods for some reason. Thus, he was cast out of Olympus. One day, he returned back to Olympus and threatened the gods with something. So because of this super horrifying threat, all the gods just booked it. They left. Except for the lovers Eros and Aphrodite, who I want to imagine were sitting there like, dude, what are you on about? And with that, Typhon started to approach them menacingly, I guess. All of a sudden, two fish just appear and carry away Eros and Aphrodite on their back into the stars, where they're safe from Typhon, even though he has wings and can fly. To commemorate these brave, heroic fish, which is something I never thought I'd say, they cast the fish into the stars, creating Pisces. Meanwhile, Typhon was probably still down in Olympus like, boy, now that I'm all alone here in Olympus, I probably could destroy it and take over the world and become the new god, because I'm evil, and that's what I do. I'll just go home. Hi, this is me editing. I am fully aware that there are people in the background of that. Shut up. Now that we're done with the fun part, let's get on to the part of the assignment that's actually going to give me a grade, which is the info on all of the stars and non-stellar objects that I found within the Pisces constellation. I'm looking at my script, and it says, in brackets, pose like the stupid star you know yourself to be. Okay. Look at me, I'm a dumb star. There are 10 stars in the constellation Pisces, and we're going to go through them in alphabetical order. Well, it's Greek alphabetical order. When I say 10 stars, I mean there are actually 14 stars because my window is acting up. When I say 10 stars, I mean there are 14 stars because there are 4 binary stars in the constellation. So any information I give about those are averages and how they appear together, not separate, because that's more work. And I don't like binary stars because I'm non-binary. Time for me to look at my notes a lot. Starting off with Alratia, or Alpha Pisgum. It is a main sequence binary star that is about 50 times brighter than our sun, with a special class of A0. It sits around an average temperature of 9,766 Kelvin, which is 17,120 Fahrenheit, so it's a little warm. For reference, our sun sits at 5,772 Kelvin on average, which is 9,930 Fahrenheit. So it's a little warm. It gained the name Alratia on August 21st, 2016. The name Alratia derives from the Arabic word Al-Risha, which means the cord. Next, we have Fumasamaka, or Beta Pisgum. It is a main sequence star about 200 times brighter than our sun, with a spectral class of B6. It sits at an average temperature of 11,920 Kelvin, or 20,996 Fahrenheit. It was named Fumasamaka on June 1st, 2018. The name derives from the Arabic phrase Fam al-Samaka, which means the mouth of the fish, because it's on the fish's mouth, because it's a fish. Next on the list is Delta Pisgum. It is a giant star about 120 times brighter than our sun, with a spectral class of K4. It sits at an average temperature of around 4,000 Kelvin, which is roughly 6,700 Fahrenheit. It was named sometime in 2017 during a mass categorization and naming event that happened at an astronomical place, and I forget which one it was because there's a lot of them. Epsilon Piscium is a hypergiant star about 52 times brighter than our Sun with a spectral class of K0. It sits at an average temperature of around 4,800 Kelvin or 8,180 Fahrenheit. It was also named sometime in 2017. Rivati, or Zeta Piscium, is a main sequence binary star that is about 12.8 times brighter than our Sun with a spectral class of F7. It sits at an average temperature of 7,300 Kelvin or 12,680 Fahrenheit. It was named Rivati on June 30th, 2017, after the Hindu goddess Rivati, which means shining one. Eta Piscium, formerly Alpherc, is a giant binary star about 319 times brighter than our Sun with a spectral class of G7. It sits at an average temperature of 4,900 Kelvin or 8,360 Fahrenheit. It received the name of Eta Piscium on June 1st, 2018. It has also been referred to as Kalutnunu, which comes from ancient Babylon, which roughly translates to the cord that ties the fishes together. More fishes. Torcular, or Omicron Piscium, is a giant binary star about 96 times brighter than our Sun, with a spectral type of G7. It sits at an average temperature of 5,000 Kelvin or 8,540 Fahrenheit. It was named sometime in 2017. And Torcular is the name of the point at, quote, which the four great cranial venous sinuses meet. I don't know if that's the reason the star was named that. I couldn't find any information on that. I just searched Torcular on Google and it gave me that. So now just in case you ever need to describe the point at which the four great cranial venous sinuses meet, you know now. Omega Piscium is a subgiant star about 20 times brighter than our Sun with a spectral class of F4. It sits at an average temperature of 6,600 Kelvin or 11,420 Fahrenheit. It was also named sometime in 2017. Gamma Piscium, and my least favorite of them all, I hate this star, is a giant star about 42 times brighter than our own Sun with a spectral class of G9. It sits at an average temperature of around 7,700 Kelvin or 13,400 Fahrenheit. It too was named sometime in 2017. Because we're really thrilling. And finally, the last star is called Van Manen 2. Van Manen 2 is a white dwarf star 0.00016 times brighter than our Sun with a spectral class of DZ8. It sits at an average temperature of 6,100 Kelvin or 10,520 Fahrenheit. It is also the nearest solitary white dwarf star. It was named in 1917 by its discoverer, Dutch astronomer Adrian van Manen. And we're going to go on a tangent for a second about this guy, because I have things to say about him. So in researching him, I found out that he was known for his faulty calculations. There was a time when he was studying a spiral galaxy and was trying to calculate how fast it spins. He did the math wrong and ended up with a number that is greater than the speed of light. So, to be clear, he determined that this galaxy is spinning faster than light. Fellow astronomers rejected this idea, not because that's impossible, but because his results were too precise. His numbers were so good, he did the math so good, that everyone was like, no, you're just making it up. I mean, he did the math wrong, but he did it so precisely that people thought he was just making it up. This was at some point in the early 1900s, so obviously people did not know that the speed of light is the limit, but still funny. When he died in 1946, he was still unmarried. Couldn't find any information about him ever having a lover of any kind. So, sucks for him. Oh, and here is the HR diagram of the 10 stars I just mentioned in case you are just itching to look at a graph. Wow, wasn't that just riveting? Yeah, that's what I thought. Now we're going to talk about something more interesting than just any old boring star. A whole bunch of boring old stars. Galaxies. 5 galaxies, to be precise. These 5 galaxies are within the Pisces constellation and are all very similar. So similar, in fact, I'm going to show you a table and you can pause to read it, because the 4 of these 5 galaxies are just so boring. I don't even want to say them out loud. To continue on the theme of having a bunch of normally named ones, and then the last one is named after the guy who discovered it, we have our last galaxy of the 5, Messier 74. It is the only galaxy that I chose that can be viewed through binoculars, and is the only one that doesn't have a visual magnitude of 11 point something. It's 9.46. Hi, it's me. Hi, it's me editing again. Just so you know, I tried, but there are over 400 galaxies in the Pisces constellation, and all of them are this boring. So, sorry. Now, I'm sure after all of this very exciting material, you are just dying to go look at Pisces yourself. And you're in luck. In the Northern Hemisphere, it is visible at night or in the early morning of every month, except for March, April, and May. And today is, April 25th. So, no fish for me. Or you. Okay, well, maybe there's like a 9 out of 12 chance that you're watching this in any of the other months, so I could be wrong. Well, it looks like that's all. I have to go. I'd love to stay, but I have to go. I have to go, rotate faster than the speed of light. See ya.